Okay, so you wanted to cover basically melodic, like you're interested in like melodic structuring is how I would kind of say it.
Okay.
Did you get a chance to see the last bit of that video?
Not yet.
Okay, no worries. We
Yeah.
can cover it here. But the basic idea is like some people back in the day I used to just think like, oh, melody, and you just do this thing, right?
Yeah.
But there's like this repeating patterns that a lot of it will have. Um, so let me. So like for instance, one I did recently with a student was that one by Blinding Lights by The Weekend.
Okay.
Do you know that one?
Yep.
So you got dun dun da 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 dun dun, and then dun dun da 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 dun dun. So it just repeats that same part,
Right.
and then ba da dun dun. Uh, then does B again, da da dun dun dun. But actually, we could probably say that's a B1, B2 because this one goes da da dun dun, and then the other one goes da da dun dun dun. Has like a little bit of an ending change at the ending. So
Very
yeah,
slightly
like
different
dun
though.
dun da 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 dun 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 da 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 dun dun da da dun dun da da dun dun dun. Okay, and then he repeats that twice, and once you have four, basically, boom, now you've got like a full section. So this would be like this could be a verse, this could be an instrumental hook, this could be a bridge. Although I find with pre-choruses, they usually just do one half because they want to they want to create like a sense of like instability. So it's like as you're entering the chorus because then the chorus hits harder.
Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah, kind of just setting things up to go into the chorus, which is sort of the main treat there.
Yep. But yeah. Do you have any questions or things you want to?
No, that makes sense. Yeah, it's sort of the balance of repetition without it getting boring. So it's
Mhm.
um yeah, I guess maybe is there like a formula, not a formula, but like a way that you think about that balance between repetition and novelty, and like how often throughout a song you're introducing new elements.
Yeah. So if you just think of this as the ultimate structure here of like, it doesn't have to be like A B B pattern,
Hmm.
but just the structure of like, I'll just put it in white here. Basically, you got four parts, and then it's like this part here is like the call, and this part here is like the answer.
Hmm.
And then, and actually, sometimes what people will do is they'll have like this go A B B, and then they'll have A B, and then they'll do like a C here or something, just because like now it's kind of like well, it's like B2 is kind of the answer. Like you're always having these calls and answers. Like B2 is kind of the answer to B1. So it's like it's always like it leaves you hanging, and then the other one resolves it. Leaves you hanging, resolves it. Best way I can kind of put it is like, like those movies or those TV shows where it's like it shows like the guys hanging on the side of the cliff, and they're like, no, and then it's like he's like, ugh, ugh, and his fingers slipping,
Yeah, yeah,
and then it cuts to the commercial,
yeah.
and then you're like, oh, and then he comes back, and then he's like goes, oh, oh, and he slips, no, but he lands on a griffin, and then they fly away.
Yep.
So that's a perfect explanation of that sequence, right? Because
Yeah.
beforehand they're doing the unresolved like, and that then they go to the commercial because they're like, oh, this is a perfect time, so that they want to come back for the next part, and then they come back for the next part and they resolve it, and it's like, okay, everything's fine, and then they go to the next, tension and release. So I always like to say it's like, and then,
Yeah.
so some people say call and answer, but I like to say,
Okay.
can't really
Yeah.
put that into words, I guess. Tension release, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you can formulate these in any way you want. Like, let me just chop these away here. So like, listen to songs, listen to a bunch of like your favorite musicians and stuff like that, and just pop musicians or whatever. I just want you to be more aware of these patterns, and as instead of just passively listening to music, as you're listening to it, be like, okay, here's this section, and then be like, what is he doing here? Like, what is the exact pattern? And you could be like, okay, well, maybe it's like sometimes people will do like a pattern like an A B A B, or they'll do like and then like an A B A B again to make it symmetrical. Or like one that I find comes up a lot is an A A A B and then an A A B C kind of thing. So that's an interesting one. I find that one comes up a lot. I think I tend to do that one more naturally too for some reason. Like it's just one that I I kind of fixate on or something like intuitively or something. It's weird.
Yeah, you
Um,
sort of establish that first premise by having the repetition,
yeah.
and then people are kind of they want that, but then you build up the tension by changing it up, and then not
Mhm.
necessarily bringing it back until the next repetition in the next phrase.
You could also do this as like A1, A2, A3B, and we could say B1. Actually, I'm going to take this one out here for a sec. I'll say, because I think I see this one come up a lot too. Yeah, so B1, and then we got A1, A2, and then B1, B2, which is an interesting one because it's kind of a callback to the B1, but then switching it up where this it was on the fourth place here, but it's on the third place here, and then it has its, which is kind of weird. And it's the weird thing here is because this B1, if this is unresolved, then it ends at the end of this uh, unresolved. Uh, it ends at the end of this line here, right? The line of four. So it's unresolved, but then when you go over here, you say unresolved on the three, but then it resolves on the four here, which is an interesting pattern because it's kind of like, you're using the fact that it's unresolved here, which is what you want on the first line, and then you're using that it's resolved unresolved here to make it so that you can resolve it here with like a nice callback to that B pattern.
Yeah.
So yeah, a bunch of different ones. So let's just try to do a little melody thing there. So just to give you an idea, so like maybe we say with A1 we go da 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 da, and then we A2 we go da 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 da. Da 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 da. We go even lower. Da 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 da. And then usually the B's, I like to do the opposite of what I'm doing with the A's. So if the A is going down, I like to go up. Da 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 da. Maybe I don't know. Da da. So I'm just doing this off the bat. So the melody, maybe the melody will suck, but the fact that it's in the structure will actually make it good. Like it'll make it sound like better than it would have been on its own, kind of thing. It's weird.
Hmm.
So it's like da 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 da. A1, A2, da 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 da. A3, da 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 da. And then B, da 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 da. And then you do A1 again, da 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 da. Oops, da, da. And then da 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 da. And then da 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 da. And then da 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 da. Resolved, kind of thing. And that's just me doing it on the fly, right? So you can see how that can be like, you can start to mess with that and like really make up some cool. And each of these, I don't know if we talked about it back in the day, but do you know what a motif is?
Uh, yeah, like a sort of a melody that is going to come back multiple times.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
like a little music. Basically, it's like a little musical idea.
right.
Or yeah, like you were saying, like a repeating idea. But here's the weird thing here. Like if we like, think of the song "Hey Jude," because you can try to apply this to a bunch of stuff.
Hmm.
"Hey Jude" is like "Hey Jude," da 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 da. And then there's like no repeating pattern there,
Hmm.
but it repeats when it does that line again. Hey Jude, da 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 da. So
Yeah,
I call
yeah.
that like chaos pattern, where it's basically, or maybe not chaos, but like I've never really got the perfect name for it, but like just something like random pattern, like freestyle pattern, where it's like there's no structure to it. It's just kind of, I guess chaos works, but yeah,
Yeah, so each instead of a group of four different like phrases or motifs, it's yeah. each of those groups is instead one long one,
Yeah,
and then you
exactly.
get the repetition just when you come back to the top of that.
Yeah, and actually, speaking of that, if we think of it in blocks, right? So you think like we'll just go like that, and I'll just copy and paste this. So that's kind of what we're thinking of in our minds, right? And then, but the thing is, you could actually fill up that pattern with interesting, like you could say like A1, A2, and then maybe B covers both these because B is just is like is like double the length of A,
Hmm.
and then I don't know, you got something like a little something different there, you know. But and I wouldn't want to confine you to being like, oh, do this pattern. I would say, play around with it. Try to come up with a like come up with your own pattern. Like see what other people are doing, but
Yeah.
also try to like mess with that and then try to. But I think the main thing you want to kind of play around with is this like unresolved on this first, and then resolved on on the second. But actually, what some people will do is they'll literally just do the exact same thing. So some pop songs will literally just repeat the same thing, the same pattern. And so there's no feeling of like unresolved, resolved.
Yeah.
But the fact that it repeats it gives it this feeling of resolve.
Hmm.
It's like now you've got now you've got let's say four, you know, four legs on the table,
Yeah.
and now it
Yeah.
just feels real, even though they're all the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And pop is kind of like just like straight drip fed dopamine in that way because there's
yeah,
no tension being built. You don't have to work for the payoff at all. It's just like
yeah,
everything is just like exactly what you want to hear in the moment. So,
yeah.
which is
But
kind
you
of
know what? You know
interesting.
what's weird is now when I started to like uncover that, I would start to uncover every now and then you'll hear like a pop song that is like, oh, they went deep with that one.
Yeah.
You're like, what? Like the chords they're using there, and they're using like a tonic. It's like there's somebody behind it. But the weird thing is you don't even when you're listening to it, you don't even know that it's happening. You just think it's like pop song,
Yeah.
but you just feel like there's something that was a bit strange about this, but you don't really know, right? But then you map it out, and you're like, actually, that was quite complex there.
Yeah.
So that's the cool thing is when you start mapping it out.
Yeah. It's always a nice treat to come across a song like that
Yeah,
in like in the charts.
and then when you see that pattern too, you can you can be like, oh, yoink, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah. I
use that a
found
bunch of
that
times.
I found that to be a pretty useful exercise too, like to map it out, like literally sit down with a piece of paper and then kind of go through what we're saying, like, and then even go to the next step of trying to replicate it. Um,
Yep.
yeah, it's a good exercise, I think. And kind of
Yeah, I
inform
was
what we
actually gonna
say.
say that with your band because I was thinking like what kind of like different advice and stuff could we kind of talk about and all that. And I was like, well, in terms of like composition and stuff like that, what I used to do a lot, like I used to just when I first started like writing pieces, I would just write pieces.
Mm.
But after a while, I would start to because people would be like, I want to like when I was doing this thing called taxi music, they're like, we want stuff that sounds like this song and this song. It's kind of like in this ballpark. So then that's when I started really listening to those songs and then breaking them apart. And then how can I recreate that song where it's not their song, it's just inspired by their song.
Yeah,
And so it still has like a lot of those elements in it, but it's not like you're copy pasting, you know? You're like
yeah,
or even like you see like oh this part they do like an AABB pattern. So I'll do an AAB pattern and they like go down here, so I'll go down but like in my own way.
yeah, yeah. And like a very small change makes it completely original.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you can kind of keep that feeling. So
It's kind of like AI, the original AI.
yeah, humans.
Yeah.
just, just I.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Um
if you're like soloing or like doing something more kind of on the fly, are you thinking about these patterns or like maybe in a more like kind of internalized sort of way? Like, do you structure solos like that when you're improvising?
Yeah, so sometimes it depends, right? Like sometimes a solo can just be you just like being flashy and just being like, and that would be like that one long A pattern.
Right.
And that's fine. And then you can also go between that and then jump into like structuring it a bit. And
Hmm.
you can kind of do that intuitively. Like you can be like, one that's kind of easy to do is like AABB, AABB. So actually, we could probably try that. And actually, one step up from that would be A1, A2, B1, B2.
Hmm.
And then you just do that twice. But let's see. How do you feel about improving in, I don't know, like in like a major scale?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's hear
Yeah.
you come up with a little. And the trick with this, with my students, is I always say like, because sometimes when I say, okay, you make the first motif, don't make it complex,
Yeah.
and whatever you want to remember that, be able to remember it easily, so you can, stack it essentially. So just make up like a simple, like maybe even 5 notes or whatever, something that simple that you can remember, and then start to stack.
All right. Yeah. Let's try it out.
So let's just hear the first motif here. So A essentially.
I'm
Okay,
getting
you kind of already did it there. You went
yeah.
the first pattern with da na 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 na,
Yeah.
and then you went into an A2 pattern da na 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 na.
Yeah.
So you're already doing it intuitively.
I guess so. Yeah. And it's, I guess what makes it. There's another question I was going to ask, but sort of what is considered enough of a change to call it a B instead of an A2. Um, so I guess it makes sense that that's A1, A2 because it's the same rhythm, same like number of notes and kind of emphasis,
Yep.
just changing out some of the notes.
Yeah, actually,
So
usually, it's like what makes something like an A1 versus an A2 would be like, it's usually like the exact same thing, but the second one usually has something a little bit different at the end. So I don't know, like me just do like a little pattern thing at the end.
hmm
But what you also did there wasn't like it was still an A2, but it was a bit different because like I could say like this. Actually, I'm just gonna. So what you did there is you went like, so we could say like, okay, A1, or sorry, we'll just say A and A, right? But then what you did is you did A1, A2, and I would say that would be like this A2 is isn't exactly the same as the last one, you know what I mean? With a couple notes different at the end. It's like the whole pattern is moved down.
yeah,
I can't remember what that's called though. It's like a transition. I can't remember, but it's like transposition or something like that. But like a lot of classical composers will do that. You'll hear like Beethoven or Mozart be like, and
hmm
so they're taking that same pattern, just moving it down. So it's not like they're making like they'll essentially be like A, but the fact that it's A1, A2, A3 is because it's moving down.
yeah,
But you're saying like what's the difference? Yeah, so you basically don't want it to be. It's the same if it's essentially like the same, like you're saying, the same structural pattern,
hmm
same rhythm, maybe with just a bit of a difference at the end that would make it a two or a three or whatever.
yeah. The
But
variation on the theme, I guess.
yeah, so okay, so you got the first pattern, dun, 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 dun. And let's keep going with that. So let's do that. Like we'll do an A1, A2, A3, and then a B. So I want you to go dun 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 dun, and then you're gonna throw in the B, or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, seems like
Okay, and then
yeah.
the B there was very simple. It was boom boom, essentially, right? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
but I would say because the A is coming down, I would say make the B go up. So
Yeah.
it's really has like a nice contrast, yin yang kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm also gonna change that one note. It's bugging me. something like that. So
Interesting. That was almost like an A, but each time A1, A2, A3, A4.
yeah, yeah. So if we change the third one a little bit more, yeah, like you say, we'll go up instead of down. Yeah, yeah,
Let me grab my guitar here for a sec.
hmm. There's the.
Okay, let's hear what you got.
You've added a bit of a turnaround. So
Yeah, okay, that would be like an A1, A2, A3, B.
yeah,
Boom, 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 boom. You kind of got like the, it's kind of like chilling at the bottom there. But I mean, like sometimes it's kind of hard to say like what it specifically is,
hmm,
because they can be. That's actually almost. I would actually say that's almost even like I was saying earlier, like A1, A2, A3, A4. Because the boom, boom, but it's almost like the B, so the last one didn't. It was like an A but cut in half, kind of.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Still an A, and then the variation is just a bit more significant than the previous variation for
Hmm.
sure.
Okay, so let's say, so I'll do. Okay, I'll just do something similar like that. And then so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do an AABB pattern. So and then B will be. I don't know. It's kind of. So that's the first half, and then we could say like the second half could be like I could change it up. So like maybe the first half is. Oops. First half, and then you see I just slightly change it on the second half with the B section,
Yeah,
just for that resolution kind of thing. Um, anyways, that's I wouldn't. I don't even. I like to do these over chords because I feel like what can happen if you do them over just by itself. Like if you've got a chord structure, the harmonic ground underneath it is shifting each time,
yeah,
so, which is causing the melody to grounding to shift as well.
hmm,
Whereas if you stay without the backing, it can be easy to get caught up in like it's like one chord, but
yeah,
that you're just playing a melody over that one chord, which then if when you eventually do add the chords, it won't sound as interesting because it's not as much changing. You're like one, two, three, four. It's just like one, two, three, four, and then maybe a changes a little bit. But so let's say so what you can also do too. I don't know if you're comfortable with it, but essentially you play chords and you just kind of like whistle or hum over it, and you kind of come up with melodies that way as well. Or another way you can do it is loop pedal. You just like
yeah,
record it, get it looping, those four simple chords or whatever, and then do something interesting over top of it. But then that kind of gets us into the next kind of thing you can start thinking about, which is what's it called? Harmonic. I guess you just call it harmonic structuring, or like what do they normally call it? Chord progression. There you go. I'm overcomplicating it, but yeah,
yeah,
chord progression. Yeah,
yeah,
so I don't know, like a simple one that I tend to go to a lot: A minor, F major, C major, E major. But I mean, if you guys already have a song written, like maybe you wrote it or one of your friends wrote it or something like that, and they've got like they already have like this chord progression built into it.
Hmm.
Just use that and then kind of solo over that, coming
Yeah.
up with different little ideas. Another thing too is with the one sec, let me bring up this again. I I used to kind of think like, oh, maybe it's kind of going based off of the chord pattern. Um, so like for instance, let's say we have like A minor, F major, C major, and we'll just do G, just for like a simplicity's sake. And I used to think, okay, well, you got like A B pattern kind of, and then like that. Um, but actually, sometimes it can actually look like this. Uh, we're basically A and F. That's one, and then C and G. That's A2, and then A and F again. That's uh, let's say B, and then B2. And that would just be the first half of it, and then you do the second half again. Oops, should then be like a good example of this. I'll just show you in a sec. I'll just make it the same thing so it's simple. B1, B2 like that. So I used to think like, oh, it matches up with the chords, but actually it could be two chords per one section of the melodic structure.
Hmm.
So like a good example of that would be like this one pop song I wrote, which always kind of stood out in my mind, which is um, da, 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 da. You can hear that's the first motif, and that's
Yeah.
within A and F. Dun
Hmm.
dun da 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 dun da dun dun da 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 dun da 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 dun
Hmm.
dun da 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 dun da 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 da. And then dun dun da 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 dun da dun dun da 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 dun da 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 na 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 da 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 da. So in that pattern, it's like a A1 dun dun da 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 dun da, A2 dun dun da 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 dun da 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 da, A1 I think again dun dun da 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 dun da, yeah, and then B da 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 da, and then back to for the resolution section, A1 dun dun da 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 dun da, A2 again dun dun da 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 dun da 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 da, but then here I go to C. Dun 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 dun, which is weird because that C, everything else takes two chords to make one motif part,
Hmm.
but that last C part takes I think four chords to make that last motif part, or something maybe even longer than that.
There's a little bit of the chaos thing.
Yeah, exactly. Throwing in a bit of the chaos on that
Yeah.
last section. Yeah,
Yeah. And then that would lead you into your next section of the song, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I could we could kind of break that down because that was one I really focused in on the melodic structuring of it and stuff,
Mm.
and I tried to really build like each part and everything. But yeah, and then you get into like let's say you've got like the different sections, right? So let's say that whole thing, all of what we just did there is one section. So we're gonna call that. Well, I think that was the chorus actually, so I'll just say chorus. So all of that fit within this box. But then you could say like, oh, we go to the next part, which is we go back to the verse again, or the instrumental hook or something. Let's just say verse. So we go back to the verse, and now the verse is going to have its own A1, A2 pattern as well. But the thing is, what you can do is you can create these sections independent of each other first and just make a whole bunch of them, like a ton of them, and then you've just got like, lists and lists of these. You just record them all and you just kind of go back and listen to them. And then you go, okay, I really like I'm gonna use this one, I'm gonna use this one, I'm gonna use this one, and like, and I'll use this one. This one sounds like a chord, and then you go, okay, this one sounds like the best one, the most catchy one, so that could be the chorus. And then this one sounds like the least catchy one, so that maybe that's gonna be like the verse. And sometimes you want that with the verse because the verse, if the verse kind of sucks, it can lead really well into the chorus because it it's again that contrast between like you'll hear this a lot with like Taylor Swift stuff. She'll do
Hmm.
like a monotone kind of thing, like almost like she's talking kind of.
Yeah.
But then when she hits the chorus, it's like ba da 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 da, and it's
Yeah.
like okay, now that's the memorable part. But then she's back to the blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
Okay, but it's like more like this monotone kind of talky thing. But it's again, it creates that yin yang between the grandness of the chorus and the kind of more compressed version of the compressed melodicness of the verses and stuff. But you can kind of start lifting that out. But then I don't always like to do that kind of thing. I tend I hear people doing that and I'm like, I don't know. I like to make everything
Yeah.
interesting melodically.
Yeah. It feels a bit cheap.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
We
think
have
that's maybe that why they do it. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah. If you're cranking out that many songs, maybe it.
yeah. You want to save some really good melody. You don't want to throw
Yeah.
all the good melodies into one song.
Yeah.
You want to have like a really good melody for the chorus and then just kind of do whatever here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a joke in the band that everything's a hook. So you know, lead guitar obviously is playing their hooks and stuff. The vocal lines are hooks, but then every line in the verse is a hook, as well as
Yep.
the chorus, and then every little transition, like our drummer will do a drum fill, and he's like, "Oh, that's a hook," and then
Yeah. Literally.
in the kind of the modern music landscape, when everything's being clipped, then it's like, okay, no matter what part of the song you're clipping, there's something there. There's like a little nugget.
Yeah.
So we try to pack as many nuggets in there as possible. But
Yeah, and actually the drummer can do this stuff like I call it melodic structuring, but you
mm,
can actually also do like I used to talk with my drummer buddy, and it'd be like in terms of like the A1 A2 kind of patterning, you could be like dum dum tapa da bum da bum ta. Maybe that's A1. Bum bum
mm,
tapa da bum tapa da bapa dum. That's A2. Bum bum tapa da bum ta. A1 again, and then da dum bum ba da bum bum bapa dum. That's the
yeah,
B. But then
sounds
he
like a
can
Zeppelin
he can
song.
structure that too, like A A B B. What's that?
Sounds like a Zeppelin song.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Do you have any questions about that? I or kind of like time and whatever. I'm fine to keep going. I kind of want to show you a couple things, but if you're pressed for time, that's fine.
No, that yeah, I'm gonna keep going a little bit. Um, yeah, I don't know if there was something you wanted to get into. Yeah, I did have a couple questions about you might be able to tie it in with this, like when you're coming up with the structure, how closely you try to relate that back to the movement of the chords underneath it, or whether it's all kind of by ear and like what feels right, or if there's any sort of if you're giving any thought to that. Um,
The structure, so the structure of the melody, right?
yeah,
Oh, how? Okay, so that would be in terms of like I think what you're speaking of is like chord tones versus non-chord tones. I think probably right. That how closely you relate the melodic choice with the chords that fit with it, essentially,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah. So again, that's yeah. You basically got a thing called chord tones versus non-chord tones. So like an A minor chord is made up of like the A string, then you've got E, A, C, and E again. It's essentially the triad ACE 135. A, B, C, D, E. That's why it's the 135. I don't know if you're super familiar with that.
yep,
Okay, cool, cool.
yeah,
Yeah, actually, we did a lot of music theory stuff as well. I
yeah,
think we focused on music theory for quite a while there.
yeah,
So yeah, so the 135, and then you got like the seven chords that'd be like A, C, E, and G. But so those would be the chord tones. So if you play a note in the melody, like if you play an A, a C, an E, or a G, that'll all fit with the chord that's underneath, the chord tones that are underneath, which works perfectly because that's already part of the chord. That's why people will do arpeggios because you're literally hitting all chord tones within an arpeggio. Okay,
yeah,
and then and then you can kind of think of it as like you stepping outside of the chord tones every now and then, and it's kind of like the best explanation I usually have for that would be like, oops, let's say you've got like chord tone. Actually, we'll say, so let's say this is A. We're doing the chord A minor. So this is an A and this is a C, and you're kind of going up in the melody. And then we got a B here, and B is a non-chord tone, so it actually doesn't fit within the chord of A minor. And it actually might sound kind of weird. Like if I hit a B within the A minor with the A minor chord, you can hear it sounds dissonant. I mean, you might want that dissonance, so you might want to throw it in here at the start of the beat. Like let's say this is beat one. So if it hits on beat one, that's where it's going to have the more tension because that's really where it's where everything the focus is kind of going to. But what a lot of people do is they'll use them as passing tones. So if you use it as a passing tone, then it's not so big of a deal because like you hardly even notice the dissonance because it's literally just passing through. So like I like to say it's kind of like, you're like living in like a nice neighborhood and you're going to see your friend, but there's like a sketchy part of town in between that you have to pass through.
Yeah.
And it's fine if you're not like hanging out there for a long time.
Yeah.
But like if you're just driving through, it's no big deal, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It's sort of within the context of getting from the A to the C,
yeah.
rather than in sitting in the context of the chord.
Yeah, but if you're literally just hanging out in B, well, like I don't know, maybe you're like you're not like part of that whole kind of culture or something. Can you kind of stand out like a sore thumb? So that'd be like a non-chord tone within the chord tone,
Yeah.
within that kind of context framework.
Yeah.
Then it has that dissonance. So like, who's this guy? It's causing that tension, right?
Yeah. That sticks out.
Also, I wanted to say, in terms of like, I didn't really cover that thing entirely, but I wanted to say like, okay, we got chorus, and then we've got like verse. So I just wanted to say that like sometimes when I'm choosing, when I was saying like, oh, you make a whole bunch of them and then you choose which ones you like.
Yeah.
Sometimes what I like to do is, if I know these two are kind of fitting together, like going to be close together here, I will specifically choose a pattern for the verse or the chorus. Probably more so the verse because I want to like, if I really like a pattern, I'll use it for the chorus and I'll just kind of make everything else kind of fit around that. So I'll do like chorus and then I'll be like, okay, verse, what could I do for, I'll be like, okay, maybe I could do like, maybe the chorus is kind of climbing up, just like I was saying with the A and the B, has a lot of climbing up kind of things. Maybe with the verse, I'll do like more like da 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 and then kind of climbing down, like maybe kind of go straight across and then kind of down a bit. So it's good because if you have like a verse that is also similar in its kind of structuring to the chorus, then it's like you move from the chorus to the verse and it feels like there hasn't really been that much of a change
Hmm.
because you're still using the same kind of pattern. So I like to make sure that like each section that I do is going to be like a different kind of room that I'm walking into. Like imagine you walk into like a blue room and I don't know, it's got like a particular theme to that room. And then you walk from that room into another room, it's like a bright red room. You're like, okay, this is definitely different. It's got like, gold on the, I don't know, doorknobs or something. Right?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, this is definitely a different room. It's kind of like those like really rich people's houses, and you go into like a different room, and it's like they're like,
Yeah.
this is the black room or something.
Yeah. Then maybe you walk through a little green hallway or a purple hallway to
Yeah,
get from the red to the blue.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of like those what do you call it? When I think of like Eyes Wide Shut kind of movies or whatever, like
Hmm.
they have like this, yeah, they'll be like very kind of like symbolic with the structuring of their houses or something.
Yeah. Different themes.
So okay, so I just wanted to kind of go over this a bit with you. I'm just going to send you a link.
Yeah.
It's kind of like not the same thing, but well, it's very much not the same thing. It's not kind of not the same thing. yeah, so when you open it, if you can just do a screen share just on that, you can also just do a screen share just on that window, so don't have to share the whole screen or anything.
Cool.
One time I had younger students and they're like doing a screen share and then they're like going to their mom's email. I'm like, God, don't show me. What are you doing? Turn the screen share off.
Get that out of here.
Yeah.
Do you send that on? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it should be a green button
There it
underneath
is.
her.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That should be good. Oh, gotta change some settings here. All right. It says you may not be able to record the contents until I restart Zoom. You
Oh,
should. I think you'll be able to see it. Maybe it won't record.
okay.
You see it
Okay,
there?
yeah, just scroll down a bit.
On here.
Yep.
Okay.
You might have to zoom out a little bit because I think the picture looks like it's jumping into the thing. Oh, weird. It's not lining up well.
Hmm.
Anyways, actually, you know what? Maybe I'll just bring it up on my screen.
Sure.
Yeah, I gotta work on that website. It looks so amateur.
No,
Okay.
I'm intrigued.
I mean, like the first part of my website, this is the one that I built from scratch. So that's why it looks like it's like an old school because I'm literally like coding it myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
That's cool.
basically this game, I just thought it would be a really good one for you to start kind of mess around with. But I just wanted to kind of see where you're at with it.
Hmm.
So you obviously know, okay, well, this note here, A, is going to be on this open A string here.
Don't think I'm seeing your screen. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Okay, yeah, so this A here is
Yep.
going to be this open A string here. And so you're really comfortable with that, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
And, oh, doing that again. And then we got like an E here, so then that'd just be this E up here. We got D, so D there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's just like this little game you can play and get really quick with it. But I just kind of wanted to test to see where you're at with it, like how many you can do in a minute or something.
Yeah.
Um, do I have that? No, I don't have that. But so what you can also do when you're practicing this on your own, like not even with like testing to see how many you can do,
Mhm.
this F here, we would normally think of it as being this F here. But if you want to make it a little more difficult, you could try to find that same F on the next string down,
Yeah.
which would be +5, right? So if you're on 3 here, then it'd be this 8 here. Yeah, this 8. So be this F here. So if you press this F up here, it'll actually also work.
Oh, nice.
You still get the 7.
Yeah.
So that's a way to like play the game. Like you could just, it's a fun thing. You can also do it on your phone. So it's a fun thing that you can like practice where you just kind of like, I don't know, stretching out and like laying down on a couch or something and just like play this a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like one of those things that like you could it's kind of like Duolingo. I don't know if you ever play Duolingo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Nice.
I haven't used it. I'm familiar though.
Nice. Yeah, so
Or
with
brilliant.com is it's good as well.
and they have these like micro learning little lessons, right?
Yeah.
And so with Duolingo, I try to because I'm trying to learn Spanish, so I'll do like a little micro lesson. They usually let you do two micro lessons per day. So I do two, which is about 5 minutes each. So I'm getting about like 10 minutes of practice every day. And my whole thing is I'm trying to like keep that streak. So you just practice like a little bit every day. And then so you could kind of do that with this too. You could say like, oh, every day I practice I don't know, do like 30 of them or something.
Yeah.
Um,
I need to send that to my guitarist. His his current method is turn on his tuner, see what the note is, and then tell us the note.
well, actually, I have another
Not
game
very
for this
efficient.
too, which you'd probably like. Where is it now? I'll send you this other one. Actually, you know what? I'll send you the. Just go to devonshiremusic.com.
Okay, that's the one you sent, right?
Uh, it'll be no. That's there's
Oh, that's the
basically
app.
two websites. The Devonshire Music is more professional looking. The reason why I made the other website is because I wanted to make those games, but the website builder I was using wouldn't kind of let me code in those games.
Oh,
So I
okay,
had to code in. I made another website, which that first website kind of links to.
I see. All right, let's
Okay,
start.
you're on the one that says like it should say like a blue button at the top that says the method.
The method. Yeah.
Okay, click on that,
All right.
and then click on instruments.
Mm,
You can click on guitar or a piano or guitar, whatever. Piano has some exercises as well, but click on guitar, and then go to find note on string. Is that the one I want? Yeah, find note on string.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so then here it shows you like, oh, A to B is a tone, B to C is a semitone.
Yeah.
And it has like a little, if you scroll down, it shows you like there's like a little video I made.
Mhm.
It kind of explains that. And then you can remember it by just saying they're all tones except for B, C, and E, F, which are semitones. I think you probably remember when we were doing that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then you click continue the bottom, like not the very bottom, but like underneath the video, say continue to find note on string game.
Mhm.
And then you can either click 1 minute challenge mode or you can click practice mode.
Okay.
So click on the practice mode for now. And the way this one works is it's the notes without practicing the notes on the guitar fretboard without practicing the notation. So like
Okay.
because the thing is with sight reading, right? You've got like what's on the page, the actual note on the page,
Yeah.
in notation, and then it's like, okay, well, what is that? That's the first question. What is that? And then you go, okay, that's an A. And then the second question you ask is, where is that on the fretboard?
Yeah.
So there's the page and there's the fretboard, right? So this is literally just the fretboard, and also you can just practice just the page itself too. And then eventually with that last game I showed you, you can combine them together to make the page and fretboard game together, where it shows you the note, and then you have to say where's that on the fretboard.
Yeah.
But this one's interesting because it says like find it'll say what note and on what string. So what does it say for yours?
So we have G sharp, A flat on the B string.
On the B string. Okay, so see if you can find that. And if you can do a screen share too, even better.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get that going. Should be able to see that.
Yep.
All right. So we have E, F, G, G sharp. All right. Yay, we got it.
Nice.
All right. G on the D string. It's going to be fifth fret.
Rock on.
E on the E string. B note, G string. Nice. This is fun.
Yeah, it's really good because the thing is, I was already pretty good at it, but I had some what do you call them? I don't want to say blind spots, but like I had
Oh,
some
I know
like
what you
weak
mean.
points.
Yeah, there's like certain like groups of frets where it's yeah, I feel like I'm
Yeah.
flying blind.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we're used to like this area
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah, yeah.
And then when we have to do like stuff around this area, that's when things get a bit sketchy. But that's actually when I played this game. So I made this game for my students, but then I ended up playing it a ton as well. And I got pretty good with like the higher up areas as well. Like you start to really
Yeah, yeah. And then yeah, being limited to a string is really gonna help sharpen that.
Mhm.
C
Yeah,
note D
so
string. We got A, B, C. There it
yep,
is. Okay. Okay, so you get to retry if you get it wrong.
yep.
That's good.
Yeah, and so you can also do the 1 minute challenge to see like how many you can get in 1 minute. Um, and then I have like sometimes I'll have like competitions to see who can get the fastest, who can beat who, and all that.
Okay.
and
Yeah, multiplayer.
yeah, yeah, I want to
Yeah.
kind of build that out, but
Yeah, a bit of competition. That'll get my bandmates going.
and get like you could even I also really like I play this medieval like I'm really into like the medieval times kind of thing. I was playing this medieval game and they're doing like you battle each other. Like they have different competitions. You like do an archery competition like Robin Hood style, or you do like you have to fight each other in like an arena, and then like if you win like a new piece of armor or something. So then I was like, oh, that'd be cool if I could do that with like music too. Like if you win the battle or whatever, you win like a free lesson or something. I don't know, something cool
Yeah.
like that. But
Or you can in the game you could build out your dream rig. So you can like you could earn points, then buy pedals and
yeah,
guitars and amps.
yeah, that'd be cool. Get
Yeah.
points. Use those points to buy things.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so that's a really cool game. You can start to like just kind of play those.
Yeah.
Also, if you wanted to do some piano stuff, because I know you're also into piano, you can, if you wanted to improve your sight reading, because literally the thing with sight reading and just playing, like, because you already have the dexterity, you already understand like a lot of things about music. There's a lot of cross transferable skills that can go from one instrument to another, and so if you like literally just sight reading a piece of piano music, the thing that's stopping you right now is note recognition
Mhm.
on the bass clef probably
Yeah. Yeah, that always trips me up.
because um because if you look at the piano's easy, right? It's not like the fretboard.
Yeah.
It's like C C C C C's. You just see the pattern. So you could probably for piano you could probably do like uh well click on note recognition note group recognition. Yeah. And so it just says, okay, so you got the four groups, right? You got face, ace G, good buddies deserve friends always, and every good buddy deserves friends. So which one would it be?
Um yeah, so we're going E G B D F, yeah. That one there. Alright, that's gonna be face. Oh, see, now I'm lost.
Yeah, now this
F.
one is ace G.
That's an F there, so okay. Yeah, so you often have to start with like, okay, there's the F, and then
Yeah, so all I would
kind of
want you to
count
think of
backwards.
all I'd want you to think of here is bass clef spaces is ace G.
Okay, right.
And
Oh
it's
yeah,
kind of
so
it's
skip the
similar
G.
because one is face, so you can think space, face, ace.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So that one should be.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And then this one is this is every good buddy deserves friends, but with the bass clef you just start on the good first. So it's good buddies deserve friends always.
Okay. That's pretty neat. Back
Anyway, so
here.
there's that one. If you go back again, and go to, you could also play the finger names games. Check that one out real quick. It tells you every like one is the thumb, which is it throws. When I started teaching piano more, and I taught guitar a lot before, it would like I'd be like, oh, finger two, but then I'd be like, no, actually, I mean finger three.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's sort of
So
like how. Yeah, if you're like referencing, the bottom string on the guitar, is the bottom physically or the bottom like
musically, yeah.
musically? Yeah.
Okay, so click the blue button bottom right. So thumbs are always one. That's the rule of thumb, pun intended.
Gotcha.
Okay, and then you can. This is also a good one for my students, my younger students who are still working on their left hand, right hand.
Right. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, so that's a good one. And then that's a simple little one. And then I would say the one you would probably want to work on is note recognition. So go back to the number five. Yeah, or sorry, notation.
Oh,
Oh,
I
back
did that.
one. Yeah, and then number five. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and then if you scroll down it, like it'll only practice face. So sometimes it's good to like practice in small chunks. So that if you click the blue button, it'll help you practice only face.
Okay.
So then click start challenge.
Oh, you get to hear it too. That's great.
Yeah,
Be funny if it played a song
yeah, it
like
makes you play some.
Runaways or something.
It makes you play. What's that one that people always troll people with?
Oh, Rickroll.
Yeah, Rickroll. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
never gonna get you back.
Is this game a Rickroll?
It's designed only for that reason.
Yeah.
They don't even care if you learn.
That's great.
Okay, so yeah, move back again, or yeah, and then scroll down to all the way to the bottom. Actually, do them all. Yeah, click on do them all, and just remember, good buddies deserve friends always on the bass clef, and then face ace with the spaces treble and bass. Yeah, so again, it's just something you can kind of just like put on some music or like a podcast even,
Yeah.
and you just sit there and just play the heck out of this game. Because the thing is, my um my bass clef sucked
Yeah.
because obviously I'm a guitarist. So first, so when I started teaching more piano students, I wanted to make sure that my bass clef was up to par. So
Yeah.
basically, all I did is in between lessons, I would just play the heck out of the bass clef,
Yeah.
and I got and it's just a couple like weeks because I played the heck out of it. Right, I would just like spend like hours just playing this game. And eventually, it's kind of like you get to the point where it's like the second you see the note, like when you're first doing it, right? You're obviously going like F, A, C kind of thing. But then eventually you get to the point where you see it and it's like seeing the word hello on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Even if you saw it in the corner of your eye, your brain would still be like, hello.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. You don't need to sound it out anymore.
yeah. And so literally playing the game until you get to that point and then go and play some piano and
Yeah.
it'll be so much smoother because you'll be just like, you don't have to all that processing of like, what note is this? And, sitting at the piano, you can kind of
Yeah.
just lay back and just play the game a bunch on like listening to podcasts or whatever. And if people are like watching, like I know I watch like YouTube videos quite a lot. So if I'm like listening to like a bunch of like 6 hours, let's say, of like YouTube videos or something,
Hmm.
that would be like 6 hours of practice every day as well.
Yeah.
So trying to combine those two things together can really be good. And then next thing you know, you've got piano as well, and you can
Yeah.
start playing that. So
Yeah. Just kind of gamify it and yeah, make it
yeah,
fun.
yeah, man.
Is there a version of this with a piano keyboard? Sort of
Unfortunately,
like
no, but they do have apps for this one though. Like you can find apps on like iPhone, Android, I think even, where it shows you the note and you play the note on the keyboard on the app. But also, I've seen ones where you plug in a lightning cable to USB, and you plug the lightning cable into the iPhone and the USB into the keyboard. If you have a USB in keyboard or USB out keyboard or whatever, and uh, and then you can just play the notes. It'll show you the notes, and you can just play those on the keyboard.
right.
So I found that was useful because instead of it being on this tiny little screen,
Yeah.
you can like actually physically feel where that note is.
Yeah, and then yeah, you're probably even more strongly building that association.
Exactly. Yep. With the proprioception and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm excited to play around with this more.
Cool, man. Do you have any like I'm fine to continue going as long as you want. I've got a pretty open day.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you
Yeah.
have
No,
any questions or like things you want to cover or anything, or if you want to wrap up soon.
yeah. Probably good to wrap up. Got some things to do,
Yep.
but yeah, that was great.
Rock on, man.
A lot of
And
questions.
uh
Yeah.
and also let your guitarist know as well because like I'm doing free as long as I can record the lesson. I could
Yeah.
show him how to like get really good with the note recognition, everything on the, and start to read even notation and note recognition on the fretboard and everything.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I'm getting really good with in terms of teaching. So I'd be down to show him that if he was interested.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll definitely be putting the whole band onto these games.
Rock
So they
on.
work on mobile as well, right?
Yep. Should.
Awesome. Yeah, well, let's get that going.
Cool, man. Well, let me just one sec. Okay, there we go. But yeah, good seeing you again, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Maybe
coming for the lesson.
have you heard of School?
Yep,
Like SK.
yep.
I feel like that'd be might be a good place to kind of host all of like the online teaching stuff, you know.
Yeah, I should look into it more and see kind of more what they're offering in terms of what they have in there. Like, I don't know, whatever they do on there.
Yeah.
I just
Like
kind of know about it a bit.
it seems like kind of a combination between like kind of like more low level like the stuff you'd put on like social media to kind of like attract clients, but then you can also have like you can have like a structured course, so you could have like your beginner guitar, intermediate guitar, and then you could like sort of require that people go in and work through each course before the next becomes unlocked,
Yep,
and
it's
then there's a
like a
whole
video
community.
course kind of thing, right?
Yeah, it's like a video course, but like there's also a big community aspect. Um, so you'll have people kind of like helping each other, and then you kind of hop in once a day and answer questions and
Nice.
that sort of thing. I haven't started doing it. I wound up getting a full time job, so but I was like really looking at it a few months ago for I was trying to figure out something I could teach, but
Yeah, man. Well, actually, also, if you're interested in learning how to like get students and stuff like that, I've actually been teaching a bunch of my friends and stuff to kind of set all that up. Like, I got one buddy who I basically taught him how to start doing it, and I got another one after that who lives in Thailand, and he was like, I'm running out of money. It's like, because what he would do is he would go to like Australia, he'd like tree plant, make a bunch of money, and then he would go to like some inexpensive country and just live off of it as long as he could. Run out of money and then go back to another rich country again and make a bunch of money and then go back and forth.
yeah,
But he was getting tired of doing that, and he was like a grade 8 Royal Conservatory guitarist. So I was like, why don't you just start teaching online, man? Like,
yeah.
you could just be
And you could be in
in
Thailand
Thailand the
and
whole
make
time,
full
yeah.
conversion. Yeah,
And then so anyway, so I helped him with that, and I think there's another buddy I helped with as well do it. But anyways, I've been doing it a couple of times now. So if you wanted some help with that, that'd be cool as well. And
yeah.
um,
That'd actually be a whole. That might even be better suited for the school type
yeah,
thing. Because like then you're helping people directly make money, so it's a very
yeah,
clear
yeah,
value prop.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's
cool.
like if you do this, then you are likely to make this much.
Yeah,
So it's like they can see the ROI on that.
yeah. It's like make your first, $1,000 teaching in like
Yeah,
a month or something.
I actually just went to Fiverr and purchased a 60 minutes with a marketing expert.
Nice.
Yeah. So I figure I'm big on delegation right now
Right.
because like what you're saying, like, oh, you've got to get like a full-time job and you can't really focus on building certain systems.
Yeah.
But actually I was thinking like maybe we don't have to build the system like in terms of like what's that one that everyone was doing drop shipping from? Shopify, I think.
Oh yeah.
So everyone was talking like drop shipping, drop shipping and like Shopify, right? And then when I was looking into it, I was like, oh man, another thing I got to learn, like
Yeah.
this whole structure and like how am I going to do it all? And I'm trying to like watch these YouTube videos, but then I'm like, why don't I just go to Fiverr and find somebody who does that, who knows how to do that, and I just work my job. Like you could literally even just be working like a fast food thing, right? And know nothing about any of that. And you just focus on working that, and then you just take some of that money and give it to somebody and be like, here, build me that system.
Yeah.
It's kind of like making an investment in a stock, but in a way, you're making an investment into what you think would be a good
Yeah. Like your own business,
business.
your own.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely a good way to think of it. I think because it's like trading time versus money. If you have a way that you can generate money, then you can sort of instead of break everything down to your hourly rate. Basically, it's like is it worth my time to learn this skill and suck at it for a while?
yeah.
Or
And they've got all the subscriptions to all the different things, and they already know how to use all those things. So,
yeah,
and then I was also thinking too, like, even if you didn't want to run it at all, you just like delegate that to find like a project manager,
hmm
somebody who just loves like their specialty is like they love managing projects, and so
yeah,
you just like here's like $50 or whatever,
yeah,
because to them maybe they live in like a less what do you call it? I can't
less
remember the word.
developed country.
Developed country, yeah. So the $50 for them is like goes a way longer way.
Yeah.
And so they're like, heck yeah, I'd love to. And then, next thing you know, you start building out those systems. But all you're literally doing here is you're just like focusing on chipping away at things that you know how to make
Yeah.
money at. And then you just like throwing money back at them and being like, okay, and you don't even have to think about it. Like, you've got your project manager, they're the ones who go and find the other people.
Yeah.
So you don't have to think any of that as well. You just like basically hand them the reins and go, okay, build this and run this company.
Now you're a
Yeah.
CEO.
Yeah, exactly. You're just the owner and financer. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. You just gotta find good people, I guess. That's the
Yeah.
hard part.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
yeah.
All right, man.
Well,
Well,
awesome. Yeah, it was great seeing you.
yeah.
We should do this again at some point.
Take care.
You too.
All the
Thank you very
best.
much.
Peace.